Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars and welcome back to my channel where we talk about frugal living, depression era living, minimalism, and decluttering. And today we are going to talk about using up what you have. I have realized that through this decluttering process, I have repurchased things because I didn't know where things were at. I didn't know if I still had them anymore. And I've been using up what I have in so many areas. And I'm going to share some of that with you today. And by the way, behind me, I had someone comment on how nice my curtain looks that I made to go with my plant stand for the summer. It's a sheet. It's not a curtain. It looks very summery and has a lot of plant looking greenery on it, but it's just a sheet. So I do that a lot in the winter and the summer. I will use the flannel Christmassy ones in the winter, and I will use things like this in the summer that just add to the home and make it seem more summery in the decorations, but I didn't buy anything to do it. So using up what you have, the first thing that I realized that we had too much of was food. And I've said before, food is an asset, but if we have too much food and it's tying up a lot of our money, I feel like I should take a step back and use up what I have. I have a small freezer, chest type, and I have a refrigerator, just one. I have two pantry cabinets, and we could probably get by with just one because there's only two of us. And then I have some cabinets that have food in it. Now, we used to be a family of 8, and you get used to stocking and shopping for people. When you have 8 people in there, you get used to shopping, on that magnitude. And I've really had to cut it back. But I realized that I needed to cut it back even more because we have a bunch of food here that we can work on using up and only buy some certain items that are perishable and put some money back in our bank account. We get used to shopping every day, every week, every month because we just think we're supposed to grocery shop. But we don't always do an inventory to see what we have. And let me tell you, I did an inventory and it was a real eye opener. And I realized that I had lots of things that I wasn't using that I needed to use. And there's no point in continuing to put money out to stock more stuff when I had plenty already. So the things I'm allowing myself to buy are potatoes and onions, which we do grow our own too. So that's if I need them. Grapes, strawberries, any perishables like that, again, when they're in season. Milk, because that's perishable. Coffee, if we need it. Now, we are not hot coffee drinkers in the summertime. It's been between 103 and 105 here. And so when it's hot, we just don't drink hot coffee. Now, I do make iced coffee from time to time myself at home. So we do use it occasionally for that, but we just don't go through coffee in the summer like we do in the winter. So if I need coffee, I will purchase it when it's on sale at a good price. Creamer, the same thing. If I need it, I'll buy it at a good price. Salad, now we're growing our own lettuce, and so that's if we need it. And then salad dressings. I realized we had a lot of opened salad dressings in the refrigerator that we had not been using. So we're just going to use up our salad dressings and then use up our back stock before we buy any more. There's no point in having that many for 2 people. Also, toilet paper, cat food, and I shared with you I drink 1 Diet Pepsi a day. I'm down from like 6 or 8 a day that I used to drink, but then the prices went up and I cut way back, which is good for me. This week I bought 12-pack Diet Pepsis for $3.99. Their normal price was $8.99. I do not pay that. I catch them on sale and I bought a couple of those to put in my back stock. Also, chips as needed is on my list, and that's only if we're having a picnic or we're having sandwiches. something like that I'm going to build my menu around if I catch them on sale at a good price. They're not something that we keep on hand regularly or normal in our back stock. And then also cheese, which again is perishable. Those are the only items I'm allowing myself to buy until I use up some of this back stock that we have. And I'm excited to see what my bank account is going to look like by doing that. This week, I only spent $35 on supplemental items for the house. $35. That is what I spent back in the 80s when there was like me, my husband, and a baby. So I'm pretty happy with only spending $35 this week. The second thing is cleaning supplies. Now, 2.5 years ago, I had an entire cabinet of cleaning supplies when I started living more frugally. And I still have that same cabinet. Now, my goal was to use that stuff up so that I could regain the space that it's taking. And I switched to white vinegar and water. And then I use bleach occasionally on some things, but that's all I use. And I have found that I still have that entire cabinet of cleaners. I'm not buying anymore, but I'm also have not been using it. So I'm going to challenge myself to try to get that used up, to get that space that I originally intended to get back by switching to the vinegar. The third thing is makeup. I went through all my makeup here a while back and I realized I had indefinite amounts of makeup. The only thing I've bought in the last 2.5 years has been an eyebrow pencil and 2 face powders from Dollar Tree. Other than that, I'm just using up what I have, and I still have an overabundance of makeup. Sometimes using what we have isn't as obvious as it can be, like with some of the items that I just talked about. Sometimes we will look at things and think, maybe I should buy that because we could use that item. And I was thinking about that here a couple of days ago, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to look online and see if I can catch it at a good buy. And let me share with you how I changed my mind from buying that item and why. So we see so many ways to make iced coffee at home these days. We know that we can brew it ahead of time and make it cold in our fridge. We know that we can buy iced coffee makers. But today I was looking online at iced coffee makers, and they make an iced tea/iced coffee maker. And I thought, why can't we just use the iced tea maker that we already have at home to make coffee if they make them interchangeable? So let's experiment today and see if that's what we can do. So I filled my iced tea maker with a filter and with my coffee. I filled my ice in my teapot, and we're going to see if we can brew coffee in the one we already have without buying another piece of equipment that can do the same thing. And here we go. So it's brewing and it smells wonderful. And I don't know about you, but I have enough small appliances in my kitchen. I do not need any more. I don't have space for any more. So if we have something that will work in both capacities, why buy an iced coffee maker? I've added my ice. I drizzled in a little bit of caramel syrup. So many times marketing will trick us or fool us into thinking that we need to buy what they have to get the job done. But I bet many of us already own an iced tea maker. So it's finishing up its brewing cycle, and I see no reason why this will not work. Sometimes the simplest ideas are right in front of us, but we just don't think about it because we have the other stuff being presented to us as the way that you do it. So it just shut off, so let's experiment and make our iced coffee. And you can make it however you want to. I'm just adding some creamer today to make it nice and fast. You can add half and half or whatever you usually use. We just made iced coffee without buying an iced coffee maker, using something we already used at home. So share this with your friends before they buy another appliance that they probably don't need. The next set of things that I'm not going to be buying extra of is medicine. We have allergy medicine, we have eye drops, we have nose spray, we have Tylenol, we have all of these things that there's no reason to continue to buy them. There's only two of us. If we get sick and we use something up, I will buy more at that time. But we don't need an overabundance of medicine that's just going to expire when there's only two of us. Also, lotions. I still have lotions to use up. I'm not going to buy any more of those. I have tons of clothes that I can use up. And when I actually use something up and it wears out or it tears and it can't be fixed, I have to admit I'm a little excited because I think, yay, one more thing out of my house, one more thing that I don't need, that I didn't really have to make a decision about. I can just toss this item. Now, if it can be repaired, we repair it. For instance, my husband is the sewer, and he sewed up my yoga pants on the seam 3 times. And this last time he said, "I'm sorry, honey, but this is the last time on your yoga pants. I've done all I can do. I've sewed them up 3 times. If they tear again, you're going to have to toss them." So yeah, we do try to use up what we have. And you know, when you have a favorite pair of yoga pants, you don't want to throw them out. So I'm like, can you please sew them up one more time, please? Also, soaps. And I've mentioned this before, little soaps from the hotel, soaps you've been given as gifts. Right now, we're using some goat milk soap that I was given for Christmas last year, and we are loving it. And it's bar soap, and it's so creamy, and it's so soft on your skin, and it makes you feel wonderful. But we know we have things like this around our house, and we kind of tuck them away, and then we forget about them. So using up what you have can save you from having to purchase it again right now. Also, shampoos, conditioners, I have a back stock of those, and tools. We really need to do better keeping track of tools and keeping track of things that we're going to use, whether it's nails, screws, whatever it is. And we've been trying to do better with that over the last 2.5 years. But as we've gone through things, we realized we had 3 hammers. Now, there's only one reason we have 3 hammers. That's because we couldn't find the other 2 at some point, right? So keeping track of what we have can prevent us from buying more. So, do you have something that will work in the place of something else? Do you have something you can use up that will save you money this week? Please share in the comments if you have experienced something like this lately that has saved you money, so that maybe we can save money in that area as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.